Hey everybody, RockPaperMario here, and welcome to this year's spooky LP, spooktacular, spectacular, or whatever. Just gonna check on options here. Is the button config the way I want it? Attack B, jump A, that's all I need to know really. Command sub-weapon, what the hell does that mean? Oh, no, I don't want that. Can I change this? Yeah, I might as well. That's what I like. What a boring intro. Well, first it started with such promise, and then it just started going to shit. Anyway, welcome to this year's spooky, spectacular, spoilerific first 3 files here, which is Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon. I'm going to be doing normal mode, not nightmare mode for the time being. And I'm going to be doing it on casual mode for the purpose of the LP. I'm going to take off this sweatshirt. That's what I'm going to do. There once was a man who had been given the moon's curse by demons, except it's not a limerick, so that man was Zangetsu, or Zangetsu, wrapped in a crimson garb, given to boys on that island when they came of age, with eyes like fire. He relentlessly pursued the demons who cursed him. I curse you. I can't, like, that parental floss, like Simon's Quest thing. As he journeyed from one pit of darkness to another, he would stop at nothing until he struck down every last one of those motherfuckers in his path. With great vengeance and furious anger, one night he sensed the looming presence of a great demon. He swore to eradicate all demons, no matter how much of a threat they posed, or how little for that matter. Bathed in moonlight, he cried out as he drew his sword, which consumed the darkness from within its wretched steel. On that night, either the demons or the moon itself would feel the wrath of his blade. So yeah, that pretty much sets the scene for what is going to be a pretty cool, badass, action-packed game, and one that I've actually wanted to... Well, I'm saying I wanted to LP it, of course I have, because here I am doing it, or whatever. But here is Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon, which actually started out as just like a little bonus barrel or a bonus game, like a bonus episode to the LP that is Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, as a kind of like a Kickstarter, like extra or whatever for like a stretch goal. Is that what they're called? Is that what they're called? The kids are calling them these days. There we go. We're already flubbing things up here, but it's alright. It's like the first level. What's the worst that could happen? So yeah, it started off as like a, pretty much as just a, as like a stretch goal, as far as I know anyway, to Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which is a game that I also have, and which is also definitely worth playing it if you haven't played it. Hey rat, get over here. Can't just stop there. Yeah, we can't do anything there either yet. Like, and it's actually an amazing game in its own right. Like, it's not even just, what's the point of this here? Unless there was something in there that I picked up and just didn't notice it. Like, it's actually an amazing game in its own right. Like, it's not, like, I don't think it's fair even just to say, oh, it's just a novelty grill. Novelty grill. It's actually an amazing game in and of its own right. And as you can see, it's definitely like harkening back and calling back to those like old school like Castlevania 1, I guess, but really what the game is like is Castlevania 3. If you guys have ever played or seen that before. It's definitely like an homage to Castlevania 3 more than anything else. Ooh, my like throat is getting like all like dry. It's too dry. You'd swear like I'd even like talked that much. Like, wasn't I just saying like this exact thing in like the Minecraft video or the Minecraft LP video that I recorded yesterday? And I think I did, so I'm gonna like stop talking about that right now for fear of becoming dull. But yeah, so this game, as you can tell, is definitely like a throwback to those like early NES like Castlevania games. I wonder if this will give me the weapon I need. Of course it will, because that's the way this game works. Is that it gives you pretty much the weapons that you need when you need them under the tree at Spar. And Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, for those of you who have not seen or heard of it or played it or any of that good stuff, is pretty much like a throwback to Symphony of the Night. So, and it won't come as a surprise to you that the guy who made Symphony of the Night and all those beautiful things had a hand in these games making as well. He was the first boss, by the way. Don't even bother to really make a big deal out of the fact that the first boss is coming up here. He's not going to give us... Well, no, I'm not going to like curse myself. It's bad enough being cursed by demons. I'm not going to like curse myself into the bargain here. By like saying that he's not going to give us like that much trouble, but he shouldn't. And one thing I miss from this game compared to its sequel is the fact that in the sequel the bosses actually have a life bar, which they don't in this game. Well, that was great. And now I don't even have any of my special weapon energy anymore. But the bosses in this game, they don't really have a life bar, which can be a little bit irksome, I guess, but really it's not that big a deal, to be honest. But let's see if we can't actually hit this guy this time. There we go. Now what you want to do for his attack, again, I think you want to get, like, on the other side of this, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Each of these bosses, they have this cool, like, death attack or whatever, which I'm pretty sure can't kill you, to be honest. I don't think it can anyway, but I'm pretty sure it can't kill you. In this game anyway, or in this mode, maybe in Nightmare mode, in Manager mode, maybe, for propane. This thing always reminds me of, like, when the characters come down like that. It always reminds me of like an episode of Samurai Jack with the fairy stuck in the little pink ball or whatever that's being kept prisoner by the gargoyle. In that one story, one episode that has like the different Jack stories in it or whatever. But yeah, for defeating that boss, we meet this character here. Now, this is where the game starts giving you a choice, because you actually have 3 choices here. You can either just skip her and go on your merry way. You can kill her and take her power, and that upgrades your attacks. Or else you can do what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk to her and recruit her. And she, in typical Spyro style, will say, "Thank you for releasing me. Was it the demon's power you used to seal that beast? You're a shardbinder. That power can summon forth demons at will. I cannot allow that. Wait, it is true that I don't know why she sounds like that, but that's just par for the course these days, people sounding weird. She refuses to be used for evil. Then show me the proof of that determination in battle." And Miriam, the Can-It Miriam, like Bob Pataki's wife Miriam, becomes an ally. So yeah, basically Miriam is one of our allies now. We can switch between them like crazy fast. Maybe actually I don't want maybe actually I don't want it on the trigger buttons. I must have got used to it from like the second game. So yeah, you can switch between them. You can switch between them like crazy fast. It's not like in Dracula's Curse or whatever where it takes ages. Now Miriam's weapon is the whip. Like, they selling whips in there. What kind of kid needs a whip? What is this, Roots? And she also has like, she can slide, and she also has like a higher jump than Zangetsu, so she will start immediately helping us get to places which would otherwise be out of reach. Frigid hell. I was going to make like a Bob Pataki style wife joke there, but this is 2020. I'm more woke than that. So yeah, Miriam, as you can see, weapon is the whip, can jump a lot higher, has some cool weapons which are like, which can be used to kill things at different, from a different angle, pretty much. And like, pretty much from the get-go, what this game really teaches you is that the key to victory is going to be kind of playing each character's strengths or whatever. So each character has different abilities, pretty much, and depending on, now I'm not going to pick that up because it's just a waste of my time. Depending on where you are, different characters will obviously be more or less useful. So that's pretty much the modus operandi of this game. Not that, and I suppose like the big difference between this and Dracula's Curse or whatever, is pretty much that in that game you were pretty much like locked into only having like one character at a time. So if you picked Alucard, you pretty much like stuck with Alucard, and if you picked Sypha, you pretty much stuck with Sypha. Well, in this game, you're I wonder if that would give me that. No, of course it wouldn't. What you'll notice in this game is that it'll like the game will normally like give you the items that you need, or which are like conducive to playing like at like that point in the game. So what I was thinking was going to happen there, which actually didn't happen, was I thought that it would actually give me the that scroll weapon or whatever. That weapon that you saw me use with Zangetsu back in like the previous level, where you throw the scroll on the ground and it creates this kind of like black hole effect or whatever. And I suppose I could like see, and you want to use the sub-weapons as well. They really do make your life a whole lot easier, like in terms of like hitting enemies from vantage points like that. It's all about making like the sub-weapons work for you. And Miriam, I must say, probably has some of the most like varied and useful sub-weapons there are for doing things like that, as I say. And the game isn't stingy on magic, which are those bottles that I'm just picking up there. So you really want to make the most of it. Now, there's a reason I'm using Zangetsu here, and that's pretty much because I don't want to lose Miriam. If I were to like fall into a pit with Miriam, now what's this going to be? That's stupid. Wait, what is this, roots? If I were to like fall into a pit with Miriam, what would pretty much happen is I would not have access to her anymore. Now, I wouldn't like die outright, but what would happen is I would have to continue with Zangetsu pretty much, and I do not want that to happen because there's like an item coming up. Excuse me. Which is this one, which you actually need Miriam to get. Now, if you don't have Miriam in your party, because you're after falling into a pit as her, well, then you're pretty much screwed out of getting that unless you play the level again. So that's pretty much the reason why you want to be kind of a little bit judicious about which character you're using as well. And I'm pretty sure I'm coming up on the second boss already. We're like making some... Do I want... Yeah, I'll get it. Even though normally for bosses you actually want to go ahead and go on, I'm going to switch to Zangetsu here. If that bat buzz off and leave me alone. Normally for bosses, with Miriam, you want to be using that axe weapon because, it does pretty much the most damage. Now, we'll see here how I get on with this guy. Now, the good thing about, like, the good thing about Miriam as well is that she has that high jump, so, you can pretty much, like, so it makes it, like, it makes it easier to dodge his attacks, even though what you're supposed to do there is... It also makes it easier to hit him, by the way. Now, this is actually working out pretty well. Maybe I spoke too soon about this thing. Because also it's not using, like, an awful lot of, weapon energy here. Now, what I was trying to do there is get on top of that thing. But that didn't work out very well now, did it? I remember this was actually technically, like, the first, boss that gave me trouble as well. Back when I was just a boy playing this game. What, 2 years ago, or whatever it was. Well, it was more than 2 years ago. I'm trying to basically just tank it now, by the way, because I should be able to take him out pretty easily now, to be honest. I don't know why he's taking so many hits. There we go. Now, he has a death attack as well. I'm going to see if I can dodge it. You pretty much have to jump at the right time. Oh, and I didn't. But it didn't kill me anyway, so... That's that. Jesus, I'm like talking at a mile a minute. Which is good. It's nice to have one of those LP videos where you just talk and talk and talk, isn't it? Instead of, like, struggling, looking for something to say. Here's the next member of our motley crew. That I would be defeated by a demon, I would have been thoroughly humiliated. I am Alfred, an alchemist. Alchemist, you use demons to fulfill your worldly desires. Zangetsu wagging his finger as usual. He gets up on his high horse with everyone, so don't feel singled out, Alfred. Yes, an equivalent exchange, you might say. Even using demons or the population of an entire country is sometimes necessary. You have your own goals, correct? My power may be of use to even you. Your existence is unsettling to me, but your skills are not without value. I'll leave your head where it is, for now. Jeez, Zangetsu. You'll always find him in the kitchen at parties, won't you? I think it's pretty much time. I was like debating whether I just record this in one sitting or not, but to be honest, it's kind of like late, so I don't think I will. But we got Alfred pretty much, as he mentioned. He can hit you with his cane, like the old antique he is. And he can also use alchemy, which is pretty much means magic spells in today's language. So give you guys a sneak preview of where we're going next in the next video, which is actually a cool area. We're going to be heading underground into the brilliant void, so thanks a million for watching this first part of Let's Play Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon. I will see you next time when we continue on our merry way. Bye now.